can have somebody in your office managing the chat, guest, managing, sharing links from behind the scenes or from a different location who's not even on the show. And that's kind of cool.
Well,
You can have somebody in your office
Jenny
managing
is
the
saying
chat,
I'm not
guest,
she can't
managing,
hear me
sharing
on
links from
face
behind the scenes or from a different location
she
who's not
can't
even
hear
on the
me
show.
from the whatchamacallit, the uh ZefZan.Live and Blap. Can anybody? Oh, yay, she can hear now. Yay, awesome. Hello, everybody. Because we were trying to fix the audio. So, guys, if you can hear me, that's great. So, that's awesome. So, here's the thing, Mitch. So if you're familiar with Jonathan Tripp of Blap Nation, and Jonathan found also another platform, which is Haza, and many of us, played around with it, and I was very interested in Spreecast because from a content creator's perspective, you know how it is, Mitch, when you do your videos on Spreecast and the replay, at the bottom of the video, there is the highlights, right? And the highlights from a content creator's perspective, it is very cool because you can really see, the timeline of every activity in the video. From an editing perspective for videos, that is truly awesome because I'm one of those people who just don't like to do video editing. So if I were to do content creation on Spreecast, I can literally take a question and highlight it on Spreecast. And while we're answering that, that becomes a timeline in the video in Spreecast. We can share that specific timeline out on social media. That was one of the biggest thing that really made me want to research more about Spreecast. So did you use a lot of that feature when you first started out? Did you notice?
Yes. For example, when I had Seth Godin on, we covered, I think, 7 or 8 specific questions or topics.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the Spreecast, I went back and clipped each separate topic. So instead of somebody watching a 55-minute long Spreecast, they could watch a 2 or 3 long minute Q&A on a particular issue.
Mm-hmm.
And the example of that, I think if you go to streaming.lawyer and then in the search box, type in Seth Godin, I think you'll see links to the clips that I did years ago.
Yep.
So yes, it's very easy to take clips. Now, one thing I just did that I don't know if you've done this or not is beneath. I'm over on the right side of the screen on
Right.
Spreecast. Am I on your right side?
Mm-hmm.
Or the left side?
Right side.
Okay.
Yep.
Beneath me, you see those 2 little arrows pointing back and forth
Yes.
to each other?
That is from the from a small screen and it widens out. Yep. So for some of you folks who are watching anyway on ZefZan.Live or on Blap, you can see that exactly in action. Everybody has this control, right, Mitch? Because you see this particular arrow down here, it widens out your viewing screen. Or if you want to make it smaller, which is the standard, that's how it looks like. So you can play around with that. And then the box to the right of that 2 arrows is really the full screen. So if, for instance, initially when I started broadcasting earlier or streaming earlier, I had wanted to do it this way because if I were to do this on Google Hangouts, when I stream it out live, I literally can do many things with it because I can, make it really clean and you can hear me use the clap, right? That's all simulation from that's from Google Hangouts. Yes. So all these little tricks, neat tricks, but basically I like the features. So not even going into the simulcast talk, right, Mitch? I think a lot of features are kind of similar to Blap, right? You have the chat. I love that there are the social share buttons, not only Facebook and Twitter, like on Blap, but it also has email. It also has Google Plus, LinkedIn, and for LinkedIn, it actually does a video capture, and whoever gets the link, click on it and plays a short link. And here, if you go to the upgraded plan, you can embed this somewhere else. And I'm just going to close this so people don't see that. And then this one is you can send people an invitation via different things, which is you can't see it from your site, Mitch, but I was showing them the button for invitation all the way down the bottom, the last social button. That's just invitation to anybody. So whether it's on screen, via email. So I thought that was really cool. Quite a lot of features. So you just put up a sample question, which is really cool. So guys, remember Blab used to have that question and you had to type in Q. Here you don't have to type in Q. You just type in your question at the bottom, right? I'm showing this on ZefZan.Live so they can see it, where it says viewer questions and suggestions at the bottom. If you're on Spreecast, you won't see our screen share. But if you're on Blab and ZefZan.Live, you will see this entire screen share. Is you will see the viewer questions and suggestions at the bottom. All you have to do is ask your questions here. Ask here, all right? And then submit that, and the producer will decide if he or she wants to put it on the screen. So I made Mitch a co-producer, and he put this is a sample question, and you can exit out later. And I think that's very cool, right, Mitch? I mean, I'm wondering why you went away from Blab, for Blab.
It's interesting. The community left.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, once they monetized it, it really, I think 80, 90% of the people I was engaging with went on to other platforms.
Yeah.
So I think what's going to happen is Spreecast was in beta back then. It's now out of beta. It's working really well.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other really powerful features that I think you'll appreciate, and anybody using Blab or some of the other platforms will appreciate, is if we have a guest who wants to join us.
Yes.
We can preview the guest before bringing them on the screen.
Yes, I love that.
You can actually you can privately chat with a prospective guest that you may not know.
Yeah.
What would you like to come on and ask our guest? What would you like to talk about? You can actually see who they are before bringing them on the screen. And then you can accept them, or you can put them on hold, or you can reject it.
Yes.
So that's kind of a nice little little feature, especially when you're interviewing a high-profile guest. And you don't need somebody to come on the show and troll you and ruin the experience for all of your viewers.
Yes.
Zeph, on some of the shows I've had, and I'm not exaggerating, thousands. I'm going to say like 2,200 people watching a couple of my shows.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, and so because Spreecast was the only platform where you could do this.
Wow.
So Anderson Cooper, Katie Couric, Gary Vaynerchuk, Seth Godin, these were the people that were using this platform. ESPN, the LA Times, the Wall Street Journal. I was on with Gabby Stern and Peter Diamandis. Amazing show. And literally, there are hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people watching. So think about that for a second. If you've got 1,000 people or 2,000 people watching your show, you want to make sure you're not bringing somebody on that's not appropriate for your show, right?
Yes.
And so that's kind of a nice filter feature that allows you to really execute cleanly and provide the best possible viewing experience for your audience. So that was another thing I liked about this platform.
Yeah, because here's the thing, right, Mitch? Because we talked a lot about trolling, right? And that feature that you just talked about really could help us, because in Blab, it's just a call-in feature. And then I think it's kind of distracting sometimes, because the producer suddenly has to go like, okay, who's this person? Let me check out the profile. Whereas if you're in Spreecast, you can literally, have a different conversation from somebody maybe in your producing team and go like, who's this person? Should we bring this person in or not? So that feature that you just talked about would really address trolling and even, figuring out who do you want to put on camera. So that's a great thing, the great feature too. But again, like anything else, everybody's looking for a freemium, right? But I really don't mind paying the $20 per month to get all this and the commercial license, and we can actually have a download of the video and put it wherever we want to. So that is a big deal for, I think, content creators.
Absolutely. There's a chat box towards the bottom which will let you know which of your friends are also live on Spreecast right now.
Yes, right here.
Yeah,
I'm showing that on the screen for some of you folks who are watching on Blab or ZefZan.Live or Facebook Live, you will see that I just popped up a like a small pop-up window. It has Mitch and Claudia there. Mitch is in green, that means he's online, and Claudia is away, so you won't see it if you're on Spreecast. But I'm screen sharing this through the simulcast to Facebook Live Blab and ZefZan.Live. So that's basically a great thing. Anybody online, you can, I think, from a discoverability, Mitch, we can really find out who's online and invite them to the show during the show.
Which is what I just did. I just actually invited the Spreecast founder Jeff Ford to join us.
Oh,
so
that's
if
awesome.
He's actually at his desk. He's at his desk and he's monitoring his chat. Maybe we can get him to join us.
That
The
would
other
be
thing that's
super
cool that you
awesome.
pointed out-
Yay! Please, yay!
Let's see if
So,
So
by
here's something else. Here's something else that Blab didn't allow you to do, and it's a huge feature. If you look to the right side of me, where you have the social media icons,
yes,
down at the bottom, the little person. If you
Yes.
click on that little person, it actually does more than what you earlier referenced.
Right.
Here's the power of this little person.
yes,
It allows you to actually invite one or more of your Spreecast followers.
yep,
So that what we used to do is if we had a big show coming up, we would go in, we'd actually invite literally, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to the show,
mm-hmm.
a week before the show and a day before the show, and then they would click the link like we used to do with Blab, and that's one really good way to get people on the show. When you do that, you can invite them to watch the show, you can invite them to co-produce the show, you can invite them to be a guest on the show. So it's a really powerful way to get people in the seats.
Yes,
When you look at the invite button, you've got followers on Spreecast, you've got friends, which are outside of the Spreecast platform, and then you can email people to the
Yes.
show just with a couple of clicks, and that's pretty powerful.
yes.
Um,
Here's the thing, right, Mitch?
Not done.
So the biggest, I think, not concern from, with all these live streaming video platforms that are coming and going, and, people trying to figure out from a content creator and broadcaster's perspective, I really do not mind. And I know a few people in the Blab community has mentioned this. We wouldn't mind, paying for something that is stable, right? And I think right now Blab is having that challenge. And they don't seem, this is what, not me, but, a general poll on the Blab community, they're feeling that, there is no love over there at Blab anymore. And they're like, let us go find somewhere else to play, right? But here's what I want to do, a little bit of a comparison from a content creator and broadcaster's perspective, what I really like. So because Spreecast is a platform that you can monetize, I love the donation buttons. I love the fact that you can do unlisted and monetize those live streams, right? And the only thing that I think I would love to see, Mitch, is the discoverability. The challenge right now, why we all love Blab so much was, people log in, they have this like some sort of a homepage, and they can see all the live shows that's going on right now. So new people can be adventurous and check out new videos or new shows. However, on Spreecast, it doesn't have that discoverability, which is, I think, very big for the live streaming community. I had to go into the upcoming and trending. It doesn't really tell me whether this person is a regular broadcaster or they're just a hobbyist, or it was 2 years ago since they last broadcasted. So that's the part that I would really love to see on Spreecast. And yes, CEO Spreecast, if you're listening, please help us. We would love to have discoverability. Other than that, I do not have any qualms at all, because I feel, my favorite feature of all, I cannot say any more than this, is the highlights of Spreecast. From a content creator, that is super powerful, because Mitch, I keep telling everybody, nobody likes to watch a 1 hour video replay. If it's a live video, they don't mind having a conversation and chatting, but when you watch the replay, it could be a little bit brutal. So having snippets as sound bites to the full video will act like a video teaser if you share it out on social media. That's what I really love about the highlights. What do you think about that, Mitch?
Well, I mean, I agree. I'm just, hang on, I'm sending some invites out. So hopefully
I
this will
love
work.
Mitch is sending some invites. Hey, so
No,
everybody,
no.
while Mitch is doing that, if you're watching on
Okay.
Blab, if you have any questions, drop in the Blab and drop in your questions in Blab. And if you're on Facebook, I'm not monitoring Facebook right now, but feel free to drop in your chat there and let me know how you hearing it from the Facebook live stream. I'm also doing this via Google Hangout, so it goes to YouTube Live. So that's basically what's happening right now, and that's basically why you can also watch this live simulcast on my website ZefZan.Live, and you will see on my website the live video without you logging in into Spreecast or Blab. Please do let us know, Mitch or me know, because Mitch has used Spreecast a few years ago. In fact, the last use was last year, right, Mitch? So he's pretty fresh, and he can be refreshed, and he'll probably be able to answer some of your questions. But other than that, I am really loving Spreecast, and I love it. The only concern I just don't know from a broadcasting perspective, the quality of sound or the quality of video is just yet to be tested. That's why I'm still using this opportunity today to test it out. Have you had any problems with
So,
quality of audio and video, Mitch?
well, back in the beta days, we, like anything else, it kind of reminded me of some of the challenges we have with Blab. But since it's rolled out of beta, no, it's because they're charging for many of the different platform options. I think they have a burden of providing a better user experience, and they are.
Yep.
So it works really, really well. The search function you mentioned, if I remember correctly,
Mm-hmm.
it always worked pretty well. You could easily go to the homepage of Spreecast,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't difficult to find upcoming shows. The search function works really well. For example, Zeph, I just typed in your name and it took me to your profile
Mm-hmm.
and upcoming shows. You can embed Spreecast in your blogs and in websites.
Yep.
So a lot of people ran their shows from within the website
I'm
page.
in.
So
I'm already
I
in.
mean,
I
no,
know
but
I
so
won this.
So I'm well. I mean, like I said, we chatted offline. We're still waiting for a couple of things to happen. So
Yeah.
let's sit tight. But so I don't remember having that same issue. I remember it being fairly well organized.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what, much more so than the last month on Blab. I mean, I go on to Blab right now, and
Right.
my profile isn't accurate. I mean,
I know.
there's
The
shows there that are
replays and schedule all screwy. Yeah.
so I think from that perspective, it's just a matter of getting up to speed on where we are right now with this platform.
Mm-hmm.
What are its plans?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I did check out a couple of things since I last spoke with you, and I've
Mm-hmm.
noticed some different pricing
Mm-hmm.
changes
Yep.
since the last time I was on
Yeah.
here,
Mm-hmm.
and I think only time will tell. So where Zeph and I left off is I'm waiting to hear back from some contacts at Spreecast to get a better feel concerning some issues that
Yes.
she and I were discussing. And then once I hear back from them, I'll reach out to Zeph and let her know.
Yes, that would be
And then
super
we'll
awesome.
report to everybody on whether or not they should put all their eggs in one, in this particular basket.
Here's my thought also, Mitch. Here's also my thought that I would share with everybody out there from a person who is a broadcaster and also use live video marketing to as a marketing strategy for my business. So here's one of the things, right? If you look, I know, Mitch, when you started, you said there wasn't a free version, right? But now there is a free version. You have to look at where you are in your
No, there
business and
wasn't.
how you
It was
use.
all free.
What's that?
It was 100. No, when I started, it was like Blab. It was 100% free.
Oh, okay. All right.
There were no paid versions.
Which is, for me right now, for the $20 per month, the plan is really an awesome plan for some of you. I think folks who are, you don't have to do the simulcast like what I'm doing, but here's the thing I'm talking about from a content creator's perspective, from an expertise perspective. It has many beautiful features at a $20 a month level, and you can monetize this. And you can easily, I think, have an ROI on that $20 a month, done it with the right strategy. I think, Mitch, because, when people start jumping ship from, one platform to one platform, is just trying to find the best free platform, right? But for me, for people like us, content creators, and broadcasters, we wouldn't mind. And I know there's this huge, Black community members who are just saying, we just need stability. As long as that's stability, we can use it for business as broadcasting and content creation, that we were willing to pay. So that's why I think everybody's trying to, research other platforms. And when I was researching features that would work best for my business, and from the pricing point, I think Spreecast has it. Does anybody want to come
I do
in?
too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. Yeah, and somebody
So
in Black was just saying, Walter in Black was just saying, Mitch, this platform is great for SEO. Boom, that's true. And I just don't know. We have to research a little bit more. That's why I was trying to research. I think Spreecast, I didn't get much like conversation or posts or SEO ranking on any Spreecast topic. So I got concerned. Though I know it's a paid platform, but I was still concerned because I didn't know if there's a community here. So when you were around, was there a huge community on Spreecast, Mitch?
yeah, I would say Spreecast and Google Hangouts were
Yep.
the only two platforms that people were using. I mean, Gary Vaynerchuk, was an early investor and was on the platform quite often.
Yep.
But the only other option out there was, for all practical purposes, was Google Hangouts.
Mm-hmm.
And frankly, there was no competition. This was such a better user experience. So it's interesting to see how, after all this time, I'll tell you, the challenge with Spreecast is we weren't able to initiate a broadcast from our mobile devices. Okay, the technology was before its time.
Yeah.
Mobile technology had not caught up to what Spreecast wanted to do.
Correct.
2 or 3 years ago, and but because most of us are broadcasting from our desktops or laptops
Mm-hmm.
when we're producing shows, my understanding is you can watch a Spreecast using your app on your mobile device, so people can watch on their mobile devices.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see if that's changed. I'm curious to see whether or not we can now initiate a broadcast from our mobile device.
Yep.
So we'll find out. The other thing about Spreecast is they allow for visitors to tip
Yes.
or contribute
Right.
to a show, to a guest, to a cause. So you could actually run a webinar or
Yes.
charitable event on
Right.
Spreecast, and
Which was
put
what
money
I
in the bank.
mentioned
So
earlier. You can have a private Spreecast, right? And then you can actually do a pay-per-view show. So that was also a great feature, which I said, hey, Jenny. So that was what I.
Come in. I didn't.
No, that's okay. We would love for you to come in. So Jenny,
yeah,
I
that's the
know
show.
you were, you were here in and out. What do you think about this so far? I would really love to hear your take.
I had some technical difficulties, so I don't think it's fair for me to really guess.
You're
I
not
don't
able
know
to come in?
why, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, I've had some technical difficulties, and I'm not sure why.
Mhm.
But there's like a little band thing kind of below to the right,
Yes.
and mine is really low.
But
Even
you're
though my
now at
bandwidth is really strong
63.
everywhere else.
Are you on Wi-Fi?
I am on Wi-Fi.
Yes, that's
So
probably
Okay,
why
well,
too.
Yeah, that's the prop. That's the issue. So
Yes.
one of the primary, but going all the way back to day one with live streaming, is if you want a reasonably good experience doing what we're doing right now, generally speaking, you want to have a hardwired connection.
Yes.
And there was a point in time, just so you know, is we wouldn't even have guests on the show. It didn't matter who they were,
Mm-hmm.
unless they would take the time to sit down in front of a computer with a hardwired connection.
Yep.
And that because it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch one of my shows with Gary Vaynerchuk, you'll see him running around VaynerMedia trying to, with his Wi-Fi, trying to find a decent signal, and he ended up in the broom closet. That was like the only place he could get a good signal, and that's where he did the show from. And while that's well and good,
Yeah.
it really, when it's all said and done, that's
Yeah.
not really the kind of experience I wanted to give my audience.
Yeah.
So always make sure you've got a really, really good connection. But a good Wi-Fi will work. It's just not optimal.
It's not optimum.
So that's the issue.
So even though
I got one of those fancy computers that does not hardwire.
Jenny, it's something kind of.
I don't have a choice.
It's kind of like it can be walked through a like a live video chat or whatever. But because I know you're a serious broadcaster and content creator on live streaming platforms, also it's probably something that you might want to do, because if you're doing a class and you want a good video quality, have it hardwired, whether you're in Whoza, Google Hangouts, or Spreecast or Blab. That is always the optimum way in the live streaming world. That's why even though with the best.
I have definitely looked into that, but my computer doesn't have a place to be hardwired.
Okay.
So the new fancy computer doesn't have a port. And so apparently I get some sort of like FireWire thing, but then that's not what my internet thing has. So I have a little technical nonsense to sort out to make that work. But always something.
I think
the other thing that I've noticed that is. I'm sorry, Mitch, I cut you off.
No, I think I cut you off. I was just going to say, in all fairness, when you're evaluating a platform, that's something you want to keep in mind, because what I found is both this platform and other live streaming platforms, they usually consistently work pretty well with a hard connection. And what's happened is when Spreecast first came out, a lot of people went out and changed their internet provider service because they had setups just like you.
Yes.
And they actually went out and had their internet hardwired to their desktop so that they could have a better experience. That's how excited people were about this. If you're going to have a television station,
yes,
if you're going to be the CNN of the internet, then you've got to have just a nice big fat fast hose right between your desktop and your internet service provider. So that was one of the challenges with using mobile. We couldn't figure out how to pump this much data through, at that time it was 2G and 3G networks. Okay, this is before 4G as we know it.
Yes.
And
they were way before their time. So this is a prime time for them to make a comeback, I really think. And if you're listening, we, the Blab community, are looking for another space.
Zef, they may not look. Their position may be there's no comeback to make. In other words, they have a platform here that they position themselves for a certain business niche.
Right.
Okay. I don't know if they really want to cater to every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Correct.
Who's looking for the most inexpensive deal.
Mm-hmm.
I think what they're looking at is quality over quantity.
There are people like me, Jenny. We said that, right, Jenny? Like, as long as the platform has the features that could work for us, the content creator and broadcasters, we really don't mind paying as long as it's stable, which is the most important thing in every broadcaster's list, I think.
I don't mind paying at all.
Yeah.
In fact, the idea that I should get this for free is kind of an
insane
entitled position.
Yeah.
So absolutely, no. The fact that people are building these tools, I feel like I should pay. I always get to pay the Blab guys.
Right.
I have one question for you guys that's different on Spreecast than any other live streaming I've ever done. I'm on camera right now, and usually when I'm on camera, that disables my screen. What do you call it? Screensaver. My screensaver keeps coming on.
Oh.
What am I doing? That's weird, right?
Yeah, that is a computer setting. Yeah. What do you think,
so
But normally, when I live stream on anything else, I don't have to touch my mouse every couple seconds to make sure it doesn't come on.
On the
weird,
computer.
right?
So I would just deactivate your screensaver.
Yeah.
No,
before I go live,
do that. If I was going to embrace Spreecast, I could do that. It's just that's kind of strange that it's happening. So I wonder if something's odd. And so the other thing is, I'm using Chrome. Is that the best Spreecasting choice, or Firefox, or what?
Do you know, Mitch? Because
I've always they have some preferred browsers, and I think Chrome
and Mozilla.
Internet Explorer and Firefox will all work. I don't know. I mean, I'm using Chrome.
I think here's what I've experienced, Jenny, from a broadcasting perspective. I love Chrome because it, there's a lot of things that you can do with Chrome. However, if my tech guy over here, he loves Mozilla for the privacy, the security, but both browsers are great for broadcasting. So I've not had any problem with Blab or Hangouts on either platforms, but last few months I had some challenges with Mozilla using Blab. But what I know is Safari is not as friendly as these two browsers. So Safari is almost like oh no, not Safari. It's either Mozilla or Chrome. Usually the first choice is Chrome.
Right, because Safari doesn't support any of this kind of video.
Right.
And that I knew. I just didn't know which one was this. Well, listen, I didn't mean to co-opt it. I really
no, this is good.
On Spreecast, I could listen. I didn't mean to come in.
No.
How did you? No. It was like you brought me in. You sucked me in. I didn't even click anything.
Because just now when we started the pre-show, and I made you producer. So basically, once you're a producer, I sent you as a co-producer. I sent you an invitation to be put on screen. You'll just be able to click like that and just go on screen. So that's basically what it is. You're still like a co-producer.
Okay, so I didn't click anything. All of a sudden, I was on camera.
Really? That's interesting. Oh wait, no, I put you on camera. I put you on screen. Yeah.
Okay, somebody brought me on.
Yes, I brought you on.
That's why I was reading that.
No, I brought you on. So go ahead, Mitch.
Another powerful feature that I've been trying to get to work, and if I remember there's a plugin, is where you click below us where it says viewer questions and suggestions. When you guys click on that box, instead of typing in a comment or a question, you can bring in URLs.
Yep.
YouTube,
it says at external media. Yep.
Things like that. And I've been trying to do it, and it's not working because I remember there's something to do to make it work, but it's a great way for Zeph, you and I, to be giving a presentation about something, and then in the third box, for example, there'd be a PowerPoint, or there'd be a music video we're listening to, or a speech,
there you go,
feed from someplace else. I think it brings in live feeds from some of the other channels.
So
it's kind of a cool way
to have it linked. So I just put the link up on the top. So if you look right now, I just dropped in my website there. So if you both take a look, if anyone's in the room, I put a link at the bottom where it says answer questions, and you can paste the URL. And then I put it on screen. Now it's up top, boop, boop, like there, like right there. So that's what you're saying, right, Mitch? Or even if you have slide presentations, people can click on that link and that appears on the video itself. And that's a great thing. I think the questions on Blab did not appear on the screen, so on the video itself. So this appears on the video.
What I'm talking about is it shows on the screen.
Oh, really?
So it's part of our show. Yeah. So it's part of our show.
Oh, wait.
I'm bringing in a link from Instagram. We'll see if this works real quick.
Okay.
But see, I remember there was something we needed to do. Oh, it looks like maybe it works. Let me see. Submit.
There you go. There you go. So what did? Oh, that's awesome. So what did you do?
Okay, what I did is I copied and pasted a Instagram link for one of my posts.
Okay.
Into the box below and said, share or share to screen or whatever the button said. So it brings it up, and people can click on that. This could be a video. It could be a PowerPoint. I can take it off the screen. And now we're back to square one.
Cool.
So if you click on it, it's pretty cool. So you see where it says supported providers? Click on the box below, and it says supported providers. And you'll see.
And I'm not seeing it. Is it in the viewers and questions? Okay, supported providers. Got it. Yep.
click that link, and it will take you to a page with literally hundreds of.
Got it. I see.
Let me
That
see,
is
add
super
videos.
cool.
Okay, okay. Here's the secret. And now I'm remembering. The secret is a service called Embedly, Embedly.
Yes, and that's
And
what
so
it
you
is.
sign up for Embedly, and
Uh-huh.
then it gives you access to 300 plus providers, CNN, YouTube, whatever you want, and you can bring this stuff in.
Got it.
Uh, yeah, boy, that's what it was in Embedly. I knew
That
there was
is
something out
super
there.
cool, Mitch. That was one trick I did not know. So I'm glad you remembered that and you were able to put
Yeah.
that on screen. For some of you are watching are probably going like, "Whoa, we can do that." Walter's saying, "Awesome! I like the features in Spreecast." Right, Walter? That's what I'm saying. And really,
So
from a content production, point of view and broadcaster, this is really good features. I love
So
the
I'm
features.
trying to bring in, I'm going to try to bring in a YouTube video. I entered my Embedly account, and let me see, get embed code. I think I just did it. Let me go back. So imagine you set up a show ahead of time,
Hmm.
and let's see if this works.
I'm really wondering, Mitch, why you moved away. I'm just kidding. But I mean, beautiful features. I mean, really, I must say.
Yeah, okay, here it is. Copy embed code. Let's try this again. So Zeph and I are playing around with this together.
Features.
It's been a while since we.
So for some
See
of
what
you all
happens
who are
here.
watching on either Blab or Spreecast, let us know if you're actually enjoying the features that you're seeing right here on Spreecast, because I know, there's this big talk of, hey, let's find another platform where, broadcasters. So I'm not talking from the freemium point of view, guys. From if you're a serious broadcaster, if you're a content creator, I think this is a super robust and super robust platform that we can really broadcast podcasts, create content for social media posts. And I really think it's everybody needs to give it a try at least to see if it works for what you want to do.
So
So
I'm
that's the
trying to
YouTube.
bring in a. Well, it didn't come up though, did it? So
And the only thing I think we don't have yet, which would be, well, of course, these are all bells and whistles, is the drop-in feature or screen sharing. Well, that's too much, but really, for me, from a broadcaster's point of view, I think that is all bells and whistles for me, because I see from another content creation point of view using those highlights and different things. So that's a great thing.
see, this is all coming back to me. I think.
Walter, thank you so much for sharing out on social media. And that's a hi, Rashim. If you're watching this on Blab, just wanted to say that we are streaming this live on a Spreecast. Join us there because, you will be able to hear us better and less delay. And you can come in on the camera to test it out with us if you're on Blab or ZefZan.Live. If you want to come in for a chat, come to the Spreecast link. You will find the link. I've equipped you all with the links. You can come in and watch this.
Let's see here.
And I love the fact that the
Actually,
social media is not only a share on Facebook and Twitter. You can do the Google Plus, the LinkedIn, email. The email is the most powerful. You have a lot of options to do the social sharing.
so that was such a big deal back in the day because with Google Hangouts, all you could do was share with Google Hangouts
Yes.
with other Google Plus users.
Yes.
And when Spreecast came along, what they were touting, correctly so, was we're not limited to any one platform. You may have all your followers on Twitter, and now you can share your shows with your family on Twitter.
Yes.
And that was a very powerful. So for some reason, I can't get the videos to work. I'm working, on different tabs right now, just kind of playing around.
It's so cool when you try. It's like riding a bicycle, right, Mitch? You get into it into the action, then you go like, I think this is how it's done. And we get to play around.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah,
here's the thing,
it's
right, Mitch? There's so many features that anybody can use it for literally anything. So I think I just want to say thank you for even agreeing to come on board. But I would love, because I know, I would really appreciate if you could keep me posted about any upcoming, because I really want to use Spreecast. I really want
I will.
to do that transition because I do love the donation, the pay-per-view capability, the highlights, and the social sharing. I mean, I don't have many complaints about it. It's just a matter of, knowing it's stable enough. If we're paying for this, it's going to be stable enough with its audio or video. So that's a big thing for all broadcasters, I
Right.
think.
I'm with you. I am
Yeah.
with you.
Are
See,
you
I'm trying
thinking you
to.
might come back to Spreecast?
I'm already a user of Spreecast.
Mhm.
I think the question is, do I want to redirect my efforts over here?
Mm-hmm.
And the ball's in their court. They need to get back to me
That's true.
for
Exactly. That's
the
the balls in their
for
courts.
yeah.
So,
Well, but while we're talking,
Mitch, what has been your
hmm,
experience? I know you have a relationship with Spreecast, and what is your experience when it comes to customer support? Because I know that's going to be a big part of the question any community members will ask is
right.
what's the customer service or support like? Are they, very good or not good?
Well, in the past, it's been so good that whenever I'm up in San Francisco, I always stop by and say hi.
Okay.
So I sent you a picture. So
Yes.
I've been up there a couple of times, and I mean, it's been just a great community. But once again, I'm talking about, probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and then very light use ever since with my last show, probably a year ago. And that's why I want to find out exactly what's going on. For those same reasons, I want to make sure that we have decent customer support.
Yes, exactly. The
It's
reason that
it's always been good.
yeah, that is a big question. So I'm going to put here. What about customer support? What about customer support? Yay! So put that up
Yeah.
on screen. I'm putting that out. What about customer support, guys? We need customer support. Very important. And I think the reason I brought up this the question of customer support because in my research, trying to figure out if this is the right platform that I'm moving to, knowing that having a good customer support is important. I was researching their Facebook and Twitter pages. It was almost like crickets in those pages. So I really wasn't sure what's going on. So I'm blessed to know that you have a relationship with them. Therefore, that's the insider scoop. I would love to hear good things from them. And I hope they would, you know, at least have that in tune. Customer support is
I
important
hear
in
you.
this broadcasting community.
Well, I'm going to play around with this some more.
Yes.
There's some new bells and whistles that I'm not familiar with, but this was fun. It was fun to kick the tires with you. And as soon as I hear back from everybody, I'll reach out to you, Zeph, and then
Yes.
you can let your community know, what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you what. I'll tell you right now. I'm thinking maybe next Monday's show we have Jay Bear on the show.live.
Yay!
And it's set for Blab. So yeah, so it's going to be a good show. It's set for Blab, but we might Jennifer and I may bring the show over to Spreecast
Mm-hmm.
because I know Jay's familiar with Spreecast, and maybe we'll do it here.
Yes.
And it'll give everybody a good chance to kind of see what this platform's all about. That might be kind of fun.
So Joe, who's in the live chat with us in Spreecast, is saying it's so hard to find a platform to choose. It's true, because I think, Joe, bigger question to ask yourself is that's why when I have clients asking me about which platform should I be at, the question is, one, what do you want to do? Because each live platform is different and it will serve different purposes and needs, right? Because sometimes you don't need all the bells and whistles, and maybe a computer, I'm sorry, a phone on Periscope or Facebook Live works for you. But from my end, I'm a live video marketer. I needed a little bit more features. And for me, I'm looking at Spreecast, just like I mentioned earlier in the call. I like the highlights features from a content creation perspective, guys, right? I can literally take a link, a share link at different timelines of the video. Right now, I'm going to X out my customer support. And if you come back for the replay, you can take that, you can just play that play button just for that section. And you can also take that share button for that timeline and share it out, and it will play right where it is. Because if I were to take the MP4 and put it into my video editing tool and edit it, I will have to sit down again and listen to the entire conversation to know where the speaking points are. From a production perspective, that is huge, especially if you're editing your own videos. And Joy, you're saying, I wish there was more traffic for live broadcasts. Yeah, that's the only thing. I think Blab has done a great job at discoverability for new users who people don't know. They want to check out new shows, right, Mitch? It's a great platform where, you get to say, oh, who is this show? And let me check it out, right? That's why we get a lot of new relationships through Blab. But that's what I'm questioning on Spreecast. How does one discover if we want to use live streaming to build a robust and fast growing community? That's the only thing I think, Mitch, many people are like, where's this on Spreecast?
I mean, so what has always worked well for me on the other platforms is it's about pre-promoting your show.
Yes.
On all the other platforms with the link.
Yes.
So I think as long as the shows are promoted properly, sharing the Spreecast link, that concern can be overcome.
Yes.
With a high degree of being comfortable about the decision.
Yes.
I know I've been distracted while we're doing this because I am trying to get the video to pop up. I remember how cool it was to have the videos pop up during the show. But for some reason,
Joe, you're saying that's a missing piece, the discoverability. True, because you know why? We're so used to the Blab. But here's the thing. This is something that I created for my clients, which is I created a portability system.
Ready? Look at this.
Oh, yay! Awesome!
So what it was is the HTTPS, I had to take the S out.
All right, so I'm just going to take it off screen, Mitch, just because I'm putting on Google Hangouts. I don't want to be... they'll pin me for that. Remember, it's Google Hangouts. And that's yeah, that's all right. But I'm glad you showed that. How did you do that? Just to let us know.
So what I did is I took the YouTube.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me do one of my YouTubes.
Yes.
I mean, it's my YouTube, so
yep.
It's not an issue.
Yep.
Hang on a second. Let me just go to, because I want to show you guys how this works. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Okay, so this is, hang on.
So do you drop it
this
in
is
the,
going to be,
do you drop it in the viewer questions and suggestions area, or where do you drop it?
Yeah, so what I did is right below us, there's a box, everyone, that's not on Spreecast, and you can just drop the link in there, and you can do it before your show. You can get these things set up ahead of time.
Okay.
Drop the link in, and I've noticed with YouTube to remove the S in the HTTP. So in this case, what I'm going to do is show you guys at the end of year of our Rotary Club, we have an Interact Club at Danny Hills High School, and they have an annual event. And it's basically an end of year summary of all the good things the kids did. So if we were talking about that, I could say, now let's show you, let me show you.
Wow, that is super cool, Mitch.
So you can click on it and move it. So let's just let this go for about 30 seconds.
Yes.
You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh my God, this changes the game. Wow. I'm going to test something. Well, let me see if I, okay.
So let me pause.
I want to also test something because you can't see this, but from my angle, because I'm doing it on Google Hangouts, I want them to experience this also. So for some of you folks who are watching this, I'm going to put this on that screen and I'm going to do a full screen and I want to see if it goes away. So I'm going to test it now. I'm going to click the full screen and see what happens. Yeah, it does go away. So it does go away, but when I come back to the original view, it's there. Super awesome.
Well, let's try it while it's running.
Yep.
Let's try it while it's running. So, watch.
It is super cool. Yes. And the fact as
Right.
producers, we have control over that box, which is super cool. Mitch, we can fight over
So
this video
viewers-
right now. Go here, go there.
Oh, you win. You're going to win every time. But so viewers, I also think somebody watching this, they can also take the box and drag it where they want on the screen.
Yes, exactly.
So
I love that you mentioned that.
that's-
Oh my God. Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Watch.
So meaning you can share any YouTube video. You just have to take out the S. So HTTP only, no S.
That's how I got it to work. I mean, it worked for me.
So
So
HTTP.
I just turned
okay.
the, let me turn the volume down, but we can still kind of let that play so people can check it out.
Oh, I have. I had it on my end. I had it muted, so now I put it in so that people can hear it. That is cool. Very cool.
So I use this technology, Zeph, just so you know. There was a big lawyer meeting, conference just this past week in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 years ago, I spoke at this convention, and I used this platform to speak to a room full of lawyers. I'm here in Orange County, California. They're in Florida. But we used what I'm showing you. And during this presentation, I brought up David Merriman Scott, who was talking about newsjacking. So David was on stage at a Tony Robbins event talking about newsjacking, which was really cool. All the hundreds of lawyers in the room got to watch David, and then I'd be able to stop it, comment on what he was doing, and go back to David's presentation.
That is
It was
super
so
cool. Does it only work for videos or any kind of slide presentations?
It works for 300 plus different types of presentations. So SlideShare.
Oh my
pretty much
God.
Anything out there.
That
Right.
really.
So that's why, for example, that's why I was trying to look at some of the other things out there.
You were right, Mitch. Spreecast was way ahead of their time, right? And that's why people got scared or whatever just because they went to a paid version. People just went like, oh my God. But literally from a broadcaster and content creator, this is super awesome. That really addresses the drop-in feature or the shareability of content. And of course, we all have to be careful with what we share, right? So that's great that we're doing the share with your video.
Oh, look
But-
at this. Okay, another little tip. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I'm getting excited here. Another
I
little
got
tip.
Mitch Jackson excited about Spreecast all over again.
So check this out. Check this out.
Oh
So
my
here's the
God.
thing. The other thing, but here's the thing. The reason I'm bringing this up is this is a SlideShare presentation. So I did a PowerPoint. I
Yep.
uploaded it to SlideShare.
Yes.
And what I did to make this work is I took the URL and copied it into the box.
Okay.
I then added the slash at the end, the backslash.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. So
So by
whatever it
adding
is,
the
just
backslash-
backslash. Those
In
are
this case,
neat,
I added the backslash.
neat
and it worked.
tips
Now,
and
this
tricks.
So this SlideShare has had over 32,000 views on SlideShare. This particular. but
Mitch,
what we can
I'm
do is I can
in.
talk to you, and I can go through the SlideShare with you and explain different.
Yes.
I love this quote. Where was it?
Let us
I
never
just
negotiate out of fear.
So, oh yeah, that's just such a good one.
Mitch,
That's
this is
beginning.
beautiful. And I really am now. I got
So
my.
isn't that cool?
Yes. Now I'm really excited. So please do get back to us because I'm sure this will be a second part coming soon for some of those who missed this. Too bad, guys. But this really has got me excited. Just like when we first started on Blab, because I think this is a much more powerful tool because one, it has been established for a few years. Two, it has gone into monetization. So for those of you who are serious about broadcasting and content creation, this would be a potential possibility. Great. Thank you
I
for
was,
sharing this. So add a slash to the
you're
end
welcome.
and also take the S out of the HTTP for sharing videos. See, I'm glad I had you on today.
Oh, look at that. Did you see that?
What was that?
So it just took the slide. It took my slide share and made it full screen. Is it full screen at your end or is it still small?
No, it's still small. Oh, I have to do it on my end, I think. So let me just try it.
So
Yes. Oh my God. Mitch, this
now
is super
is it?
cool.
Yes. So basically it allows you to tell your audience, okay, click the arrows and you'll have an entire presentation on your screen. Now, as I'm clicking through, Zeph, is it clicking through on yours or do you need to manually click through?
I need to manually, I think. Yeah,
Okay.
I need to manually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're figuring it out together. So that's kind of a cool little mode
Very
too.
cool. Very cool. Thank you for
Okay, I've
sharing
got to
that.
go.
So I do have to go too. Thank you, Mitch, so much. And for all of you watching, make sure you watch the replay for this. And like I said, there's a lot of features to like about Spreecast. Now that you've seen the potential, I'm sure we will have some new Spreecast people over here. Till then, thank you so much, Mitch. Have a great evening, everybody. Bye. Thanks, Mitch.
Bye, Zeph. Thank you. See you
Bye.
later. Bye-bye.